This is American democracy.
Welcome to America, nigga.
Know that in America, democracy is hypocrisy. Now, if I'm
I knew a little boy named Damien. Just a state of mind, he was reigning in.
democracy is not hypocrisy.
Yeah,
Then
right.
don't put your hands on.
Why do I have to wake up and be black? Why do I have to wake up like that?
So something I'm talking about a little bit earlier that I think is really fitting, especially today, not just today, but with the state of the world. We have Dominick Brown here, who's a local performer, writer, rapper, all-around great person, and he, I'm going to let him tell his story, but and I think you'll understand why it's really important today. So thank you so much for being here to talk about this. So, what is it that you did today?
So today,
Besides going swimming.
so today I was swimming, yes, but I woke up a little late for a project that I was supposed to be working on. But I got in touch with this kid named Damien who went to the Montpelier Black Lives Matter rally that happened last week or the week before.
Mm-hmm.
And basically I touched base with him and talked with him about his experiences as a biracial kid in Vermont, well, in society, and just like overall, just like what it's like to grow up being black. And then from there I worked on a project, well, a song about kind of like his experiences, or kind of like a takeaway from our conversation. And what he really wanted was it's not really be a personal thing about him, but more so about everyone's story.
Mm-hmm.
So from there I went on and kind of tried to figure out a way to make it about him, but also make it about everyone in the same sense.
Okay. And why is that important right now, do you think?
Well, I think right now, with the current climate of America, there's a lot going on that just isn't working, and there's a lot going on that needs to be worked on and needs to be fixed. And so it's interesting now to work on a project that will affect so many people in different ways, and that they'll be able to like look at it and be like, oh, like I can relate to this, or oh, like this means something to me because I've had to go through that exact thing, or I've watched that happen.
Mm-hmm.
And I just think that right now, like, people of color need some sort of a little bit of a push, a little bit of an extra hand, and a little bit of a pat on the back, and a say, and like that you're okay, you're doing it, you know.
And what's the name of the song?
That's something that I am really bad with titling songs. Kind of, it just is about a lyric. Well, I guess I didn't really title it yet. So in my files, it's just saved under Damien, which could or could not be the title of the track.
Okay.
But I think actually one of the I think I might actually title it "Why Do I Have to Be Black?" Because that's it's interesting, because you would expect the song to be not that. But one of the takeaways from speaking with Damien was one of the things that he remembers the most is having to go home after like kindergarten or preschool, and he was like, why? He asked his mom, "Why do I have to be black?" And so from there, like, my biggest takeaway from the conversation was to try and battle yourself in the song. So part of the song is about like why do I have to be black, but then it's also like black is beautiful and I'm black and proud, you know.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit of a back and forth type of thing.
Is it possible that some of this song is personal to you as well?
Well, I think everything you write as an artist is personal, whether or not you want to admit it. So obviously, yes, some of it was personal. I had to dive into some of my own experiences and like try and relate those to his, which is kind of easy because we both grew up as a biracial person in America, in America, in Burlington, in Vermont. Well, he grew up in Waterbury, so it's a little bit different. He was one of one black people, as I am one of like 10, 12, 15, you know.
Right.
So, yeah, I think a bit of it was personal.
Okay. What experiences have made it so it's personal to you, that you've been through, that you want to share?
Well, I just think that, like, no matter what happens, when you grow up as a person of color, you have to experience it. You have to experience things differently. You have to walk down the street differently. You have to present yourself differently. And for me, I didn't really realize what it was like to kind of grow up being a black person in Burlington, Vermont, until like a couple years ago, because like I grew up with a white family. Like, I grew up with my white great-grandmother, who was best friends with the entire police station. So for me growing up, I didn't learn to hate cops. I learned to love cops, as they were the ones that were helping me and being there to protect and serve. But it was interesting because a couple years ago, I was living with my mom, and she has her own issues. She has an addiction issue, so she battles herself and her own demons a lot. And so she tends to get herself in situations that affect me, and I ended up getting stopped and searched by the FBI, and like it was this whole situation. But that's kind of like what made me realize that police look at you as different, because her boyfriend, who was white, walked out of the house at the same time that I did. Yeah, I was the one that was stopped and searched, you know. So it was interesting to me to like kind of look at the bigger picture and realize like Vermont isn't the safe little bubble that we think it is.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I agree. Thank you for sharing that, by the
Yeah.
way. That's really important. So your music.
Yes.
Where can people find more stuff that you've been working on? Because I know
SoundCloud.
that I've heard some of your stuff and it's really good.
Yeah, SoundCloud mostly. I'm looking to dive deeper into releasing music on more platforms, but right now I'm looking for a producer, so I've had a struggle with like beats and getting beats that are like able to be used on all platforms. So
Okay.
I just like go with the safe bet and just release everything on SoundCloud. And really until I kind of further myself as an artist, I probably will just continue to use SoundCloud until I dive into YouTube, which is something that I'm working on now as well.
Okay, awesome. That's great. And how did you get involved with doing this song for this project?
Jim over
Okay.
here. So basically, he just connected me with the right people, and things fell in line.
Yes.
I was a little late with replying. I'm really bad with checking like my emails, like phone check. Like I'm like social media. I don't really use it a lot, although I do at the same time. So I reply to things a little late, but gladly everything fell in line for me to do this and have this opportunity.
Right. I think it's great. So at the end of this whole thing, which you're done with the song,
Yes.
right? And is there a video component to it or no?
No.
No, so it's just a song.
It's
and
just a song,
And where
yes.
will people be able to find this song and when?
That to be honest, I'm not too
I think I
sure.
got that. I don't know
think
the
you
when.
might have- you might-
I don't know the
I-
when, but I do know where. It's the makemusicday.org.
Yes. And I believe, well, I have to submit the song tonight around like 8 o'clock.
Oh,
So
wow.
I'm not sure if it's going to be out today, but I do know for sure it'll probably be out tomorrow. Jim,
Okay.
do you know?
Don't know.
Okay, so we'll find that out. But
Find
either
out.
way, as long as people keep checking makemusicday.org, they will be able to find
And then I will probably release it on my SoundCloud as well. So
Perfect.
then that'll be
Awesome.
somewhere.
And so it's a great way to type people back to,
Yes.
to that. So what are your goals after all this stuff? What are you're how old?
17. I'll be 18 in 2 months.
Goodness,
1 month.
I'm making me feel old. But what are your goals? What's next for you?
Music-wise?
Music-wise, life-wise?
So I'll be moving in like 20 days to Arizona. I'll be focusing on music there. Probably go to school. I'm gonna take the first semester off to just focus on music, try and find a producer there because that's what I wanted to do. This year I graduated early, so I took a gap year to try and be on set with my class. But I'm not really behind, so I decided that it's okay to kind of do like another half thing.
Right.
So I'm gonna do that and focus on music. Right now I have a bunch of songs that I've been working on that I want to release. I probably have over like 200 unreleased songs in my
So,
files.
ladies and gentlemen, you are now looking at the future Prince. He's gonna have his own vault.
Yeah, I make music and then I really like the song and then I tend to be like, oh, I want to create a project, and so then I'll save all of the songs and then I'll get kind of tired of them because I'll listen to them so much, and so then I'll be like, oh, I need something new, and then I'll just never release the things that I have. So I do have a bunch of music that I can release, that I should release, that I need to release. It's just about when is kind of the question.
When the time is right. A little bit of advice. One of my old roommates back in the day who went on to work with Cash Money and lots of other folks, Jay Sean, etc. We'd live together down in Hoboken, New Jersey, and he would make all these snippets of tracks, but never put them together or never finish them.
Yeah.
And he had 200 or 300 of them. And one day got a call from someone looking for snippets to use for MTV, and now he makes most of his money from Viacom. So when you're watching MTV, Comedy Central, Cartoon Network, that's all his stuff. So that stuff will be worth something someday, I bet.
Hopefully.
Well, thank you so much for sitting down with us.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. Dominick Brown, and make sure you go check out his SoundCloud page. Make sure you go to makemusicday.org to look for his brand new song, which I'm really excited to hear. And I'm guessing it's going to be some sort of an anthem for what's happening in our world today. Thank you so much to Big Heavy World A9 Studios for donating to Black Lives Matter, the Burlington, Vermont chapter. Thank you to all of the sponsors, and thank you to you for being a part of this magical day. Take care. Thanks.